What's up, world? It's Katrina
and Marlena, and this is Excess Baggage,
the podcast where two friends in their 30s unpack all of life's baggage. This episode, we'll be unpacking lowered expectations.
Okay, let's start the show.
Hey, girl.
Hello.
Okay, the build up to that let me down so much.
I know.
You like paused.
I paused.
You thought about it.
I thought about it.
And you still met me with a
hello. Yeah. I'm just tired, man. I mean, I'm not tired as in like I need to go to sleep, but I just have so much stuff to do. So
it's your birthday week though.
It is. And instead of me relaxing and, you know, just not doing anything, it feels like everything is happening all at once. Like everyone needs something. So, and that's okay because I'm going to disappear. Right after my birthday, I'm going to take a little time. I'm going to attempt to a few days to myself. So, yeah.
Good for you.
I don't know where. I don't have like a plan or anything, but I definitely want to just disappear for a couple days locally. You know, like I'm not going to get on a plane or anything. I don't plan on doing that, but it would be nice to just not look at my email.
Staycation situation.
Yeah. Just disappear.
We like it.
Yeah. So that's the plan.
I respect it. So what is, if not that, what is your baggage today? I
guess some of my baggage is feeling a little I don't have any a little imposter syndrome, but not crazy. Like it's not, I'm going to speak on a women's panel and, I know that I'm not going to get to talk too much because I feel like the panel is only an hour long. It's 5 panelists. There's only so much you can do with that. You know, I really don't believe that I'm going to get all the talking points. I don't know, unless the conversation shifts my way and I take it all over. You know how I can do. I'm just kidding.
Unless I just walk in there and take everything over.
Just take it over. Then, you know, maybe I will put a little liveliness on it. But I don't think that's going to happen. I feel like, first of all, it's in the morning. I'm not a morning person. I just have to make sure that I don't look
like you're not a morning person.
Yes. Like I really tonight am going to do my best to lay down and like go to bed as early as possible because I think I'm going to try to get up and at least like go for a coffee or like go for a walk or something so I can have some blood flowing because really in the morning I look dead. Like I'm not a morning girl. I never have been. I'm sure I'm going to have to be if, you know, I have children, I will, you know, things will change because you got to get up, you got to get them to school, you got to do all these things, you know, it's the whole routine. But yeah, no, I'm not a morning person. And honestly, this might sound crazy. If I had the funds, I probably would get up with my kids, but like taking them and doing all that stuff, I don't know. You know, occasionally, but I just don't know if that would be my thing. Because I remember my mom being so just tired and just like, I just remember being dropped off and just, you know, she was like, oh yeah, all right, good, yeah, have a good day. You know, like, you know, sometimes like, where are we? You know, but I got you to school. So I guess I'm just a little nervous, but not to the point where I'm not going to speak my mind.
What are you nervous about?
I guess for me, I don't know who's going to be in the room. And when you're a panelist, you can see, you know, you can see who else is on the panel, but you can't see who's in Zoom. You can't see anything.
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping that I look okay, you know, and that I come across as being, you know, nice. But some of the topics and stuff, you know, it's Women's History Month. So some of the topics are not too nice.
Yeah.
Women in the workplace. It's not going to be like, yeah, I just cheerlead and everything's great. And, you know, you know, there's some real things happening in the workforce. So, yeah, I just got to like keep it real, but just not too real, you know, don't, you know, keeping it real goes wrong. I don't want to do that because nowadays everyone's sensitive to every single thing.
Sure.
So again, I don't know who's going to be in the room. So I just want to be mindful of that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's not really a nervousness. It's just, okay, like, let's just get this over with. You know, I hate the whole preparation of things. Like
the anticipation.
I know, right.
Yeah,
I'd rather just get it, you know,
get it in and get it over with.
Come on, you're going to meet everyone tomorrow. You know, let's do, you know, I'd rather just an impromptu because then you can get in your head. And I don't really have time to, I don't, this, again, it's my birthday week. I don't really want to be in my head about anything.
You ain't got time for this.
I don't. Like, I really don't. I actually checked out last week, but I had to check back in because it's just so much shit that has to be done.
Because life is still life.
Yeah. So that's my baggage.
I hope it goes well. I'm sure it'll be good, but I completely hear you and understand where you're coming from. It can be really hard when you're in a place of speaking and sharing your thoughts and opinions and experiences, and you don't know, there's no certainty, there's no groundedness in who you're sharing that with and what that looks like. Think of it as recording a podcast episode.
I will, but here's the thing. I feel like here, this is our platform.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and there it's like, no, you are representing said brand.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like.
To some degree, you just representing yourself. Just don't say nothing off the wall.
Yeah, let's fingers crossed.
I think you do a pretty good job of that in general.
I try.
I think your outbursts are less, what am I trying to say? Your outbursts would be more fun or funny than like detrimental.
Yeah, because sometimes, you know.
You don't have those outbursts where people are like, what the hell? Why y'all bring her out here? You would just break out into song or something like.
Right. And I'll be like, mute me. If you see me singing, just mute me. Okay.
Right.
Just immediately.
But I feel like that would be like funny. I don't necessarily know that would be detrimental. It ain't gonna break nobody's brand.
Right.
That you singing.
I wonder if they're going to keep us muted though, you know, and then when it's time to talk, then talk. I think that would be better because shit, where I live, who knows, you know, these fucking trifling kids might be out there screaming.
You just gotta do your best to make sure that you have a quiet environment.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. I wish I could go somewhere better than here, but it's only for an hour, so it's okay.
Yeah, it'll be fine. At this point, people used to the Zoom room situation.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like everybody been on Zoom for a minute. We know shit be popping off in the background. The neighbors be neighboring.
For sure. No, they do.
So
they for sure do.
Ain't nothing we can do about that.
Anyway, what's your baggage for today?
Oh, what isn't my baggage for today? Ooh. I feel like I say I'm tired like every other episode, but it's a real thing that I really be feeling in real life. But my baggage today, I'm so glad, so thankful for the fact that, you know, my computer sits on top of a desk, so you can't see what's going on the floor behind me.
Oh, Lord, it's a disaster.
Because Katrina decided this year for Lent that she was going to declutter her home. And while it's a great decision and an ambitious one, a useful one, it is also a very big task. Because
yes, it is.
I have not done that in a long time. And I decided the whole house. So I like went through the closet. I just got like literally like suitcases full of clothes in my living room. Suitcases, tons of clothes, tons. How did I end up with so many clothes? I don't know. And half them shits don't fit no more, which is why we get rid of them. Listen, you're making faces at me. I've gained weight. Okay.
No, I did the same thing. That's why I'm making face. I literally did the same thing.
And I'm sick and fucking tired of going in my closet. And every time I put something on, it don't fit. So we're getting rid of it. We're starting fresh. I am tired of being frustrated when I try to go and get dressed. Getting dressed should not be this hard. It should not be this emotionally exhausting, because it's really emotionally taxing, because I'd be like, oh shit, these pants don't fit. There go that whole outfit. Like, let me try something else. I'm just not going to do it anymore. I refuse to participate in this anymore. And right now, because over the weekend I decided to touch The Office. And I don't know if this is your experience, but in my mind, this is everybody's experience. This experience of like how you make a mess before you get to the point where it's actually starting to get clean. You make more of a mess. Mm-hmm. That's what's happening on the floor behind me right now. Like, I cannot roll this chair in very many inches before I will roll over something. There are things everywhere all over this floor. And I don't know where they're going at this point, because I haven't gotten that far. And I'm tired, so it's probably not going to happen today. But, you know,
it won't.
You started this project, and eventually I'm going to finish it.
One day you will finish.
I was like, yes, I'm going to declutter and it's going to be great. Let me go in this office and do some things. And I'm sitting here like, why did you do this to yourself? Why didn't you just start on one drawer in the office, or one, like, you just threw everything on the floor at this point. There's just shit everywhere. And I worked in here today. This is the first day since I did it, because I did it on Sunday. It was the first day. And I was like, this is a mess. You need to clean up. But I'm tired. So after this, I'm going to go lay down. And we'll see. I'm also going out of town next week. So we'll see how far I get. But let's just say Lent is ending Easter Sunday. So that's like 2 weeks, a week and a half maybe. I'm not done. I won't be done by then.
No. Okay, so I did the same thing. I decided, well, not for Lent, but I just decided one day, I'm like, I have to declutter. And I got rid of a bunch of clothes. So I reorganized. So the reason why I had to do it is because I needed to put my Christmas tree and stuff back up. And so I waited until damn near February, and I was like, okay, girl, you can't be having your Christmas tree up this long. So what are you going to do? And so I had to take everything out of the closet and everything. And I, took out clothes. I folded every single t-shirt. It got rid of some shirts because I have a lot. Like, I tried to do as best as I could. And I did. I got rid of a lot of stuff and empty boxes and things that just like, why do you have this?
Why do you have this? Right.
Yeah. But there's 2 areas I didn't touch. My office. So it's still a fucking mess. My office is a mess. Like, and I keep wanting to do something. And every time I look at it, I'm like, no. Mm-hmm. It's really and that's the question. Where is this stuff going to go?
Where is this going to go?
And then there's a drawer in my kitchen that's really should not be a drawer at all, full of things, but there's just one little drawer that I'm like, man, that drawer has mad stuff in it. I know that it does, and you need to do something about that. And I just haven't done it. Mm-hmm. But I keep saying I'm going to get an entryway table. That's going to be my birthday present to myself. That's so lame. Okay. But I'm going to get an entryway table finally. And then some of this little tchotchke and little things or whatever that are just, they can go in that'll be a storage area. So
I like it.
I will finally be done, but it's an ongoing project. Decluttering sucks.
It does. And I started this early pandemic and never finished. And I still don't know how I still have this much stuff. Part of this is because I moved into my place right after I quit my job. and I didn't really get the chance to unpack and like really do all of those things because I was just hustling and trying to figure shit out. But
I'm a hustler, homie. I'm a hustler.
At this point, it's really bad. And that's why I had to tell myself to do it for Lent. I don't even observe Catholicism anymore. That's how I was raised. But it is a period of time that is ingrained in my brain because we engaged with it growing up. And a lot of the people around me are still doing it. So I was like, you know what? Katrina's going to observe Lent this year and she's going to clean her house because that is going to give me
40 days and 40 nights.
Dedicated dates to get shit done. And it has been, in a lot of ways, very useful because I went through most of my drawers. I still have like 3 in there that I'm avoiding, but I went through most of my drawers. I went through the entire closet. Well, I went through all the clothes in the closet. I haven't gone through the shoes.
I went through shoes.
We will save that for another time. Because listen, I went through the kitchen. I got rid of tons of Tupperware and pots and pans in the kitchen.
I actually want to get rid of all of my pots and pans and start from a fresh batch because some of them are so old that now I'm looking at them like, man, is this even healthy? Should I be eating off of this?
Yes, most of mine were passed down or given to me. I think there was one set that I bought myself and it was like just 2 pots. But I asked for a huge, like brand new pot set for Christmas and never got rid of the other ones. There's no reason that one individual person who lives by herself needs that many pots and pans. There's just no reason. So I got rid of pots and pans. I got rid of Tupperware because there was tons of that. I don't even know if they all had tops because that's a thing. So then I moved on to the office and I don't know where the fuck this shit is going, but it's here. We're here. That's my baggage. Yeah. I'm decluttering. We're going to get to the other end of it at some point. We'll see. I also want to get rid of this desk because it's big as shit and I don't need a big desk anymore. But I have to clean it out in order to do that. And yeah, so that's where I'm at. That's what's happening in my life now.
I'm thinking that by the beginning of the second quarter, no, maybe not beginning, the first month of the second quarter, you can get it done.
So like the end of April?
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. The other challenging part is what to do with the stuff. Because right now, everything is just sitting in the dining room. Because there's nothing else in the dining room. I never actually got a dining room table. So it's just open space. So there's just boxes of things, bags of things, shit. And eventually it needs to go somewhere.
Yeah, I just started getting really disgusted. And then that's how things started like changing. But for like a good week or 2, everything was just on the floor everywhere. And I just was like laying out on the couch. And then finally I was like, look, you pulled these things out for a reason. Come on, you can do a little bit of this today. Then you can do this. And I just timed it out. I just spread it out. And then eventually it all disappeared.
Yeah. I don't know if that's going to happen. There's the beginner's pile that's in the dining room is the pile from the beginning of the pandemic. That still never made it outside.
Okay. Well,
so this is going to be a challenge, but we're working on it. Don't judge me.
No.
Just know that I'm trying over here. Okay.
We're making sandwiches over here. No,
okay.
Don't. It's just random.
So random. See, these are the outbursts.
No.
These are
that's Fat Sal's. Even though I don't even eat Fat Sal's, but that's when you call there, I would like order food for the people sometimes. And
that's how they answer the phone?
That was the hold music. It was like, thanks for calling Fat Sal's. We're making sandwiches over here. Or some shit like that. That's how it was. Dude, there's just shit that is just, don't ask. I don't know why it's in my head, where it comes from, why.
Yeah, it's okay.
There's no method to this madness. Trust.
Anyway, on today's episode, we're talking about what Marlena is naming as lowered expectations.
Yeah, because I came up with it from Mad TV because when you're a kid and you're not supposed to be watching TV late at night. Anyway, I would watch Mad TV all the time, and Lowered Expectations was actually like a dating, funny, like love connection type video chat service or something. And it would basically be like, all right, like, look at this is the pick of the litter. Pretty much you got to lower your expectations. And it always would be like misconnections and just weird people. And so I don't know, that tag always stuck in my head.
Hilarious.
And then today you were like, let's talk about people need to figure, like, why do you have an expectation of me? I'm like, lowered expectations. I just thought of it. I don't know. Don't ask.
These are the things that come from Marlena's brain, but we love it.
Yeah, it's me.
So my thoughts were, and something I've been thinking about a lot and talking to clients about, were about the expectations that other people project onto you. The ways in which that people just decide that you're supposed to, that you're meant to, that it's your job to, whatever other verb you want to use there, to do certain things just because of who you are to them, because of being a woman, a Black person, I don't know, a therapist, like whatever, a friend, like just because of these certain roles that you play or these certain things that you are in this world, how people can sometimes project certain expectations onto you and how that impacts us and how that looks. And I think sometimes it can be like our parents and caregivers and teachers, but sometimes it's also like our friends and our partners and just random strangers out in the world that just decide that because you show up a certain way in the world, you're meant to or supposed to do certain things.
Yeah, I've definitely had some expectations for certain, I would say from a partner standpoint, and even in a parental standpoint, I expected certain things from my parents, but I was unsuccessful. I was unsuccessful, as in, I don't know if I really want to go into that, but if I was to say, I expected them to show up differently.
Sure.
Yeah, I did. And I guess you can, what do they say? Wish in one hand and shit in the other. Like, people are going to be who they are. And, I think in order for you not to, take it, so you kind of have to live without taking things personally. And
Sure.
It is very hard because it's your life. Like, it's going to be personal to you. But I think sometimes I'm just like, yeah, you got to lower your expectations. Like, just know that people are operating on, I don't even want to say their own beliefs, because a lot of the things are passed down or
or socialized. So we're all brainwashed.
Kinda. So what works or what is supposed to be, correct is not always correct for the, for everybody.
Right.
So, I kind of have to look at them in a different light. And again, try my best not to take it personal. Now, will I be successful on that? Probably not. I mean, I can do my best to recognize said thing, but also call a spade a spade.
Sure.
So,
sure.
But I don't think it's anybody's business, as you're growing and as you're becoming your own person, whatever decision that you decide to make, as long as you're clear about what said decision is, I don't see that there's any issue with it. If you're not hurting anybody, if you're not doing anything, then what's it to you if this is what I want to do?
I think that's my issue, because I can definitely understand the perspective that you're coming from. Like when you have a partner or thinking about your parents, like there's certain expectations that you have of them because of the roles that they have in your life. And I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting people or even needing people to show up in certain ways because of the role that they play. Like, hell, I'm quick to break up with somebody or be done with the dating situation because you're not showing up for certain needs. But me deciding that I'm going to break up with you is me saying I'm not going to project these expectations onto you. Like, it's me saying that this is not working, right? It's me deciding that what I need and what you can provide are just not the same thing. But it really baffles me when people are like invested in the decisions you make for yourself that have nothing to do with them.
Yeah. See, that's when it gets really weird. Because
like, why do you have such an expectation around what I do with my body? I mean, we could.
Well, women's bodies are heavily policed,
right? Like, and that's a big part of it. I think we can like take this to and look at all the ways in which women's bodies are policed, or all the ways in which Black folks are policed, or whatever. But like, why are you so invested in what I choose to do with my body, or with my life, or in my life? Like, I have had the number of people that I have had fight me, argue with me, or like be seriously concerned about the fact that I have always, my entire life, said that I don't have the desire. I have never had the desire to have children. There's no piece of me, there's no bone in my body, there's no cell in my body that has been like, ooh, yeah, let's get pregnant, let's have kids. Like, there's just no desire there. There's just zero. My ovaries don't tingle when I see pretty little babies. I don't like, I love kids. I've been around kids my whole life. I love them. I am the best auntie in the world. I would take everybody's children. Y'all can all come hang out. Absolutely. I don't have an issue with children. But the amount of people, when I say I don't have the desire to have children, who have fought me on that and been like offended, baffles me. Because I am a woman of a certain age or whatever, or because I am a very nurturing person, your expectation of me is that I'm supposed to have children. And who decided that?
I don't think anybody decides. I honestly believe, well, from my experience, if we're not even talking about, for me, I'm not talking about people our age. I'm talking about, from my experience, when I have felt like someone is pressuring me or saying, hey, like, how come, what's going on? Like, you better hurry up and have kids. I always felt that it came from two places. One was they were in this club and they want everybody else to be in this club because they made a decision, and A, it might have been a good decision, or B, they're miserable as fuck, so they want everybody to be miserable. Company. So they want company in the club, right? And so if you're not in the club, a lot of times people look at you as if like, oh, well, what are we going to talk about? They lose, not all, some lose their identity in said situation with child. And, some people are like, yeah, I just want to be a mom. And I can understand that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But then there's other people like, yeah, okay, like I kind of want to focus on my career and I kind of want to do all these other things. And if I do have a child, I'm not going to be able to give them my full, undivided attention. Not that you ever really are, but that balancing act can be serious, right. And it should be serious, and it shouldn't be taken lightly, because you are creating life. Like, you are teaching someone how to even, you're giving the manual of whatever you've learned so far, and you're continuously learning, of course, but whatever you've learned so far, you're passing down to this child, because they don't know shit. They ain't just got here. Right. What do they know? They don't know anything yet. And I just feel that when they do that, it's either A, they want somebody to come in the club, or B, the other thing that I have seen is because they feel like, okay, well, when I'm gone, sometimes it comes from a different place that I feel like is genuine, and it's not in a way of like pressuring you to have kids, but just a concern of, when I'm gone, who are you going to be with? Who's going to take care of you when you're older? You're going to have children or whatever, and they're going to, no, but not everybody takes care of their parents now.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. They will definitely put you in a home and not even think or blink twice about it. I would not do that. But I know that some people don't have the best relationship with their parents, and they're like, well, why should I,
right.
Alter my life, for someone that really didn't give a damn about mine, brought me here, but didn't, take the time
some people
to
just
nourish
don't have
me.
the access and the resources.
Yeah. Or the assets. I mean, because you need money for that.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of different scenarios, but I feel like a lot of times they're thinking about, okay, well, who's going to take care of you when you're old? I mean, I've heard that a bunch of times, and I go, well, if I don't have children, and I do get the funds, I should be setting myself up for my latter years so I can have a comfortable life in my, later on. And that doesn't mean I'm not going to have a tribe or people that care about me. It doesn't mean that it has to
right. That's
from
not
a
the end
maternal
all
or
be all.
paternal. Right. So
but I hear what you're saying. And I think those are the people who are coming from potentially a more caring place. But I've also had people who are just like, you just haven't met the right person. Or you're still young. Look, I am in my mid-30s.
I've young,
been in
Katrina.
love.
We're
I've had multiple relationships. I have never, my entire life, felt the desire to have a child. I have always said my entire life, even to my big age, that if somebody was going to have kids with me, it was going to be because we planned it. Because you ain't never going to have Katrina be like, babe, it's time. We need to start working on some babies. I ain't never going to come to you and say that. Because that is not a desire that I have. And why do y'all care so much? Yeah. Why is that so deep to y'all? It
shouldn't be anybody's concern, really.
Why is that the expectation? If I just never have kids, what does that do for you, to you? How does that impact you at all?
It does impact them, as in there will be one less life force on planet, right?
They ain't even gonna notice.
No. I mean, it's
gonna be.
But I'm saying that's impactful, man. I bet you it could be considered more impactful than people that are having children. Because hell, the way shit is going,
we are using up these resources.
Right. We are really using up these resources. So I'm hoping and praying that if I do have children, I'm hoping that they have something to fucking be around at.
Right.
I don't know what's going on, but every single day I see something more crazy on the news. So, but that's the news for you.
Yeah. But I think that's part of my issue too, is like, you're so busy with your expectations of what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, even this whole idea right now that millennials are supposed to be like, at this age, we should have bought houses and like be partnered and all of these things. And I'm like, who came up with these rules? And are y'all looking at the state of our world, our economy? Are you looking at me as an individual? Like what I've been doing with my life and where things have been going? Have you even checked in with any of the people that you're projecting these expectations on? Is that even what they want or desire? Like, where is this coming from?
I mean, I just feel like I have enough expectations on myself already.
Thank you.
To hear somebody else's is just going to be far too much than I could bear. Because, some of the things is like, yeah, I really have considered, like you're saying, like I know what I want, and if it changes, it changes. But as far as to right now, like this is where it is and this is how I feel about it. But to think that I'm not thinking about, I want to have a house. Yeah, I would love to. If everything was in alignment and everything was right the way that it should be. And I'm not saying that it won't ever get there, but right now it's like, no, I couldn't have no kid. I don't want to have no kid. We don't want to bring him back to this apartment. Like,
right.
What? There's a lot that goes into that. You know what I mean? And not that there's anything wrong with raising people in apartments, but no, I grew up in a house. I was fortunate to grow up in a house. I really was fortunate. And if I do this, like I would like to have the same experience to said being, if I could do it. Or at least
just have a bigger apartment
space.
like you need space to bring another human being into this space.
And it's costly. It's costly, man. I don't care what anybody said. It costs a lot. And I definitely I've been becoming more softer as as I'm growing up. I have noticed that about myself, that before I'm like, oh yeah, people would project on me that, hey, Marlene is not going to have kids. I mean, I've heard that a lot just because I like to travel and the type of lifestyle that I lead. And I'm like, that doesn't mean that I don't want them, but that doesn't mean that my story or how I raised my child may be different than yours.
Right.
You know, I don't want to have a kid and feel like I can't do stuff. You know, I want to be able to be like, hey, we going, we're going to be here. And, you know, and I know that kids have foundation. They still have foundation, but I definitely wouldn't just be like, okay, we're just here. And,
right.
You know, because you notice those things as a kid too. You do. You notice when, you know, people like, oh yeah, I went to camp or I did this or I did, you know, it's just certain things that people have that you're like, oh, like that's what families do, you know? And I just want to be able to do that with a unit, with a family. So if I don't find the person, then there's alternative measures, but you can't just be like, yo, you 35, yo, so what's up?
You ain't never going.
You ain't having no kids, man. It's a wrap for you. It's just like, what?
Why are you all in my business?
Why you all in my grill? And you can't pay the bills, and you ain't paying my bills.
You ain't paying not a damn bill.
Not one.
Why? Why do you care so much?
Because everybody has opinions.
So?
Because that is. We are in the era. We are in the era of social media, and everyone is creating their own reality TV show. So that means by projecting and telling you, oh, what's wrong? You know, that's all a part of the you know, the casting, the lighting, everything. It's all goes and rolls into one. That's what I feel like when people have opinions that really are not necessary and rooted in anything that has anything to do with them. I feel like it's just the drama. They love the drama of it all, and they just need something to say. People like hearing the sound of their own voice. I mean, hell, we have a podcast, you know? People.
Yeah, but I don't like the sound of my own voice.
But you know what I mean? Everyone has opinions.
Yes, everyone has opinions, but you don't have to project that shit on me.
I agree.
Leave that to yourself. It bothers me. And I think what's got me thinking about it a lot is having these conversations by myself in particular, but also the amount of Black women that I work with as clients who we have to like unravel some of the things that they think that they should be doing, like these shoulds and supposed tos and all of these expectations that they have placed upon themselves. And as we're unraveling it, coming to the place of recognizing in therapy that like, that's not even really what I want. It's just something somebody else projected onto me. It's something that somebody else placed on me, an ex-boyfriend or my mama or society or whatever. It's like, I actually truly don't even care to do that whatsoever. That's not something that I want for myself at all. And I have been living out my life trying to achieve this thing and recognizing late 20s, early 30s that I don't even care. That means nothing to me, that's not important to me, that I'm not interested in that at all. And it's just so interesting to me how much we carry those things because they've been projected onto us for so much of our lives that we don't even realize that like some of that shit is not even ours to carry. Like it's completely somebody else's. And how much of an impact that has on so many of us because we're so busy trying to please people or do the right thing or be the good girl or whatever those narratives are, and how harmful that is to our own mental health and our own well-being, how harmful that is to how we experience ourselves, how well we know ourselves, like, and the unraveling process is hard because it's a voice you've carried for so long. You really think that shit is yours. You really think that this is something that you're supposed to be doing.
And it's not even just opinions. I would say it's also like, you got the parts, so why are you not using them? Like, it's almost like almost putting, it's a version of putting a woman in her place too.
With everything. Because I feel that way too as a therapist sometimes. Like, there's this expectation I'm supposed to show up a certain kind of way in the world just because I have a degree.
Like, as in what?
Like, there's an expectation that I will not be a human being in a lot of situations, like that I can always manage my emotions, that I'll always be like the most put together person, that I don't have any problems. That's an expectation people have of me, that because I'm a therapist and I help people work through their stuff, that I'm not allowed to have stuff.
Yeah,
That's dumb.
you guys are in a pickle on that one.
That's dumb.
But that's why they always say, "Oh yeah, therapists, like they gotta have a therapist." It's like, yeah, because they're people.
Right.
Like, and if they're really
and
serious
people will
about
literally
this,
judge you like, you're a therapist. Why do you go to therapy? What the fuck do you mean? I'm
Right.
a human being. I go through things in life. I too have traumas and hurts and feelings. Like, what? Where do you come up with this idea?
maybe you just came out of the maybe they think you just came out behind a desk. You know, you already just
straight
came
out the womb.
straight out the womb, just like, so how does that make you feel? Like, that's it.
What the hell? I still have shit that I need to work through.
Yeah, that's weird as hell.
It's weird as hell. And it's carried over even into some of my like friendships. And I don't think it's always because I'm a therapist, but because I've often been the friend who has been more put together, that there's often this expectation that like, I don't need anybody, or that I don't need help, or that like people don't need to check on me because Katrina's good. She's fine. Like she does all the things. She has all the tools. Like she's okay. And I'm like, how do y'all come up with these ideas that like I just don't need people, and that I don't have feelings, and that I don't get hurt? And it's just so interesting to me, and how much it personally has impacted me, of like recognizing that I have often been the friend who had to reach out to people consistently because I found out later, right? Because people just thought that like I was good and they didn't need to reach out to me.
Yeah.
You just expected that I would be okay.
Yeah. I've been on the other end of that, as in I have done that to a friend where I expected them to just always be good because they were always good. And, but still, I was still a friend to them. There's the thing. I was still a friend to them, but I do recognize that when you're involved with someone like on a regular basis, and that you talk about all the small things, like all the things that are happening, everything that you see, you're interacting regularly. It's very odd to all of a sudden. I don't want to say odd. It's just always like, well, if something was happening, like, wouldn't you tell me? We talk about everything. Like, why wouldn't you say anything about this? But I do recognize, like in friendship, like, no, like you have to do your check-ins too. Mm-hmm. You know, you just have to do regular check-ins. And even if you want to keep things light, because we tend to do that, especially when we're out at brunch and we're doing all these different, you know, things. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm having a great day. And, you know, you want to, you know, frolic a little bit. You don't necessarily put on the what's really going on behind closed doors, or having the hard conversations. You know, being vulnerable is difficult. It's difficult for people to do that. And I think I had to check myself and realize like, wow, like, okay, maybe in certain moments I was a little self-absorbed in this relationship where I didn't ask the questions and that needed to be asked. And then when it was too late, I felt that the trust from that other friend had kind of, I don't want to say it went away. It'll always be there, but the relationship changed.
Sure.
So, but not, I don't feel it changed in a way of like in a bad way. I just feel like I recognize that, I tried to correct it, and then I left it alone. For me, it's really hard to keep revisiting something. Like if I say, hey, like, you know, that was not my intention. You know, this is what can we do? You know, I want to, you know, salvage this situation, or, you know, sometimes you can come off, I think, too agreeable. And it's like, look, I've made my attempts. if you're still hurt of certain things, I'm going to let you take your time, and I'm not going to take that time, you taking that time in any form of fashion. It doesn't mean the love isn't there. It just means it's something that happens with our relationship, and hopefully we'll move past it. But if not, I understand.
Right.
So I think that's something to be mindful of in these relationships, because sometimes you don't know. You're just, flying by the seat of your pants too, and trying to figure out too. And, sometimes you overshare or tell things too much, and then realize like, oh shit, like, well, what's happening with this person? Are you okay? And everything like that. And a lot of times people don't want to talk right away, but I think once the floor is made comfortable enough, they will come around if they feel the need to.
Yeah. I was always the person that, like, when the conversations would come up, I would definitely allow myself to be vulnerable. I didn't have issues with that.
See, some people do.
Some people absolutely do. For me, it was just more so that, like, okay, we talk about it, and I could share with you with a straight face that, like, I had a really hard week, and these are the things that are going on with my body, and these are the things that are going on in my relationship, and all of these things. And then, like, you wouldn't follow up or you wouldn't check in, or people in my life could go weeks, months, whatever, without checking in with me. Like, if I didn't reach out, I didn't hear from them. And then would see me and be around me and be upset that there were certain things going on in my life that they didn't know about. And I'm like, you never called. You never checked in. You didn't ask. It didn't seem like you were interested. And why does that, like, or I shared with you something really big and you just never followed up. There was no, like, nothing about it. And then people started to tell me, well, I just always thought you would be okay. Like, I know you had a hard time, but I just thought you would be okay. I figured you were fine. I don't know. It's just, there's a lot that comes with it, and that comes from that. And this expectation that, like, certain people are just going to be okay because they've always been okay. The moments when I wasn't okay, I didn't have people because I was no longer reaching out because I didn't have capacity, and everybody else, not everybody, but a lot of other people were just assuming that I was fine. And so then I just didn't have community. So I don't know. I guess this whole topic for me is just thinking about all the ways that it impacts other people when we project the expectations that we have instead of asking questions, instead of looking at people as individuals, instead of allowing people to just share what their desires are and being okay with where they are rather than projecting onto them what we think they should be doing and how we think they should be living or whatever. Because it's just, there's so much that you miss out on when you do that about the individual.
And with my experience, especially in a relationship standpoint, it always is not good, because look, people are going to do what they want to do. And if they want to show up, they will show up. Mm-hmm. And so that expectation of just, expecting like, oh, they're going to call when they say they're going to call. They're going to tell the truth when they say they're going to. I just had to really take that away from everything and just whatever I see happening, call it for what it is.
Right.
Because, you're really going to hurt your own self by having high expectations, because you will be let down 9 times out of 10. You will.
I agree. I'm going to just rephrase that a little bit. I don't think it's the high expectations. I think it's the expectations that other people don't consent to.
Yeah.
Regardless of how high or low they are. If your expectation is not something that somebody, if they didn't sign up for that and you're expecting them to act and behave in a certain kind of way, but you never got their consent, that is what they are signing up for.
Or they consented and still...
Well, that's different. That's a whole different thing.
I know, it's different.
Because we're talking about projecting expectations. Right, yeah. If you consented, then you just lied.
You consented and then you still reneged and you still didn't show up. It's like...
Then you're just lying, and that's a whole different thing. But
what are we doing?
I have an expectation and I don't share that expectation with you and get your idea and your take on that expectation, but I still hold you to that expectation, regardless of how high or low that expectation is, then you are just hurting yourself.
There is something I wish that I could share, but I'm not going to do that. But I'll say this. That is you. Yeah, horrible. Don't have no expectations on somebody and not let them know.
Just how?
It's just how it doesn't make any sense.
How do you decide what I'm supposed to be doing, how I'm supposed to be showing up, and you don't even check in with me about if that's something that I want to agree to, and if that makes sense for me?
That has happened to me. Like it's happened to me. I've had someone make a decision for me and made it up in his mind. This is what this is because you need to go out and you need to do this and these different things. And I'm like, okay, even if that is something that I want to do, I have not chosen to do that. I have not signed up to do that. I'm telling you exactly what I want, but you're not hearing me. You're just not hearing me. You've made up this whole entire narrative that
ain't got nothing to do with me.
That didn't have anything. I mean, in his mind, I guess it did have something to do with me. Because he thinks he knows what's best.
No,
and that's just like
you don't get to decide that. It's my life.
Get to decide that. Only I get to decide that. But that's
and then
okay.
You're gonna be mad at me when I don't follow through.
Yeah.
Well, who said that that's what I was signing up for? It bothers the shit out of me. But, all of that to say, it is okay to have expectations. Just be clear that the expectations you are putting on others are expectations that they are open to, willing to, capable of actually agreeing to and committing to.
Yeah, because I don't think I have high expectations. I really don't.
Sometimes the expectations aren't high. I think
the expectation
they
is
just ain't
what
for
it
them.
is. Exactly. The expectation is what it is, and it just is not for them.
It just don't work for them. And that's okay. That's the point I want to make. I just want people to be okay with the fact that the thing you want for me is not the thing that I want, and that is okay. Support me in that because that is what I want.
I'm currently doing that for someone.
Good for you.
I'm currently doing that for someone. I'm listening to what has been said. And to me, and I'm watching behaviors. And so these things go together. And so that means A plus B equals C. This is what it is. And so does it hurt? Yeah, it fucking hurts. But guess what? I'm honoring the choices that work.
But me.
Right. Because I've said what I wanted to say. I said I have articulated, communicated. I have monologued. I have,
I drew a picture.
I stood on a sandbox an apple box. I've done all kinds of things. And it's like, hey man, I am who I am. I'm a loving person and I want to be, I want to be loved and respected. That's a regular expectation. But everybody ain't built the same.
It ain't for everybody.
It ain't for everybody. It ain't. And guess what? I'm choosing to be alone. And guess what? My parents are very concerned. They have all the expectations of you have everything going for you. Why are you alone? And all these different things. I'm like, don't you think that if you know me how you say you know me, then you know what I say is true. That is something that I desire. But it has to be right.
It's a two-way street. I ain't the only person playing this game.
Yeah. It's not just me. Just like I got baggage, they got baggage.
And I don't want to carry other folks' baggage. Let's be clear.
I can't do it. We gotta both honor each other's baggage and both decide to get the help that needs to be done.
Yeah.
To be better people. That's how any relationship, whether it's parents, any relationship is going to succeed if we both choose to do the work and accept each other's baggage. It is what it is. Because it's not always you're going to unpack. I hate saying unpack, but it's true. You are going to unpack a lot of shit. Mm-hmm. And there's things that really have happened to me that I have had to let go of, and really let go of and move on. And the only way I did that was by doing the work, was by stating what it really is, how that hurt me and sitting in that hurt and being able to say, look, it happened to me, but it's not me, it's not me. It's a part of me, but it's not me. I'm in control of Marlena.
Right.
So everything's good. Everything is good. So
yeah. Y'all be careful with your expectations.
Yeah. And mind your damn business.
Mind your damn business.
That's all you gotta do.
That's it right there.
If you got plants, water them.
Drink your water.
Drink your water. Mind your business. And we probably say this so much on this show, but it is so needed.
Yes, because why are you all in my business?
This world is getting chaotic, man. I'm just praying for
it's
everybody.
Not getting, it's been.
No, it's been, but I feel like it's progressively getting worse. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going for
we passed chaotic, that line a long time ago.
I know. I'm just going to pray for everybody involved because
y'all got other things to be worried about than what I'm doing.
Yeah, for sure.
That we're not doing. This next segment is called Roses. Marlena, who you want to give your rose to?
So, it's Aries Diva Week this week. And, all the divas you can, not all of them, but a good portion of pop culture divas were born in this week. That being Chaka Khan, Aretha Franklin, Sarah Vaughan, Mariah Carey, Lady Gaga, Diana Ross, the boss. I mean, it's really Diva Week. And I close out Diva Week March 31st, it's my birthday. And I just wanted to give my rose to us because clearly we're killing it. I sat here earlier today because I am getting ready for this women's panel and I was going over questions and thinking about like all the work that I have done in the past decade. And it's only been 1 decade, that I've been working way longer than that, but 1 decade of like a career. And, I'm batting at 1,000, I'm doing well. So it's just going to get better. And as Bevy Smith says, it's going to get greater later. And I'm all for it. I'm just looking forward to whatever 35 is going to have in store. I feel like this is like a reset. I'm really trying my best to stay positive because it can be really rough. Just not even negative as in about me or per se. It's just so much negativity all around.
Yeah.
And disturbing shit. Right. So I kind of get really consumed in fantasy with, entertainment and watching movies and TV and different things or whatever. But when you look out and look at what's going on, I'm like, damn, man, damn. So, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. And just know that even when I am feeling like, man, I haven't done anything or I haven't shined as best as I could be, I shine every damn day, even on the bad days, because, God's not done with me yet. And hey, man, one of my friends sent me a meme of this little kid and it goes, well, if the Lord sees fit, I'm going to make it to 6. It's like, okay, that's how I feel. The Lord, like all of this for me, I've just been having a lot of, and maybe it's growth, maybe it's maturity. I feel that what I'm seeing, everything that's happening, like these money and these careers and all these things, like, yes, these are all great, but at the end of the day, I want to say that I lived, that I saw some things, that I traveled, that I was good to people. It's my everyday that's concerning me. That it's what I want to focus on. It's not so much of like, I don't want to be a slave to the rhythm. I want to be a slave to, living, really living. And whatever that is to you and what that is to me is 2 different things. So I think as the years go on, I'm just discovering more and more what's important to me and where I want to invest my time in. And It's becoming very clear. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm just excited.
Okay.
Even though that didn't sound exciting, I'm excited, man. You know, I am excited. I am. And yeah.
I just want you to know, I didn't know that there were so many, as you were calling them, divas whose birthdays are in the week of your birthday. But that feels very fitting for you.
I mean, some of the names are crazy. Some of them are really like a crazy, like, wait, what? Like Aretha Franklin? Like, that's crazy.
And Diana Ross and Shaka Khan.
Right. It's crazy. You know, and those are powerhouse women.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's wild. That is really wild. But it feels very fitting for you. I love that for you.
Yeah, man.
You bring it up the
good.
Diva Week.
I am. I'm closing it out.
I love it.
I'm the young one in the making. You know, I'm in the making. So I just gotta stay focused, man. That's the thing. It's hard. It is hard because when you do feel really enlightened, there are things you're like, man, what the fuck? I don't have to do that. You know, you just get to a point where you're just like, you know, so I really need to stay focused and keep my eye on the prize and get more creative and do the things that bring me joy versus like, yeah, I'm going to get a check. You know, things got to get paid around here, but I'm going to use my time wisely because it is very unsettling that you don't know when you're going to go. It's not like you got a calendar invite and it says, yo,
today is the day.
Today's the day, right? You don't know.
Be ready.
So, yeah. Probably best that way though, because I think that would
be so weird. That would be so weird.
And then they send you like a week reminder.
Absolutely not. That's not.
You get reminders and shit. Just horrible.
That's a lot.
But anyway, that's what I'm giving my rose to.
Shout out to Diva Week.
Shout out to Diva Week and shout out to my old screen name, Divalina. That's right. That was my screen name back in the day. So shout out.
Only right for you. Only right for you. On that note, I'm going to give you my rose today too, because it is your birthday. We are getting to the big age. Like, that's the only one. You're getting to a big age.
Right.
Said that like that. 35 is not that big. But it is the biggest age that you have reached. So
true.
But we have known each other for a long time. I don't even know how many years at this point. How old are you in the fourth grade?
Yeah, I don't know.
What age are you even in the fourth grade?
Maybe like 8?
8?
No, maybe not. No, maybe you're older.
You have to be older than that. I don't even know.
10?
Are we
maybe
this far removed?
No. Maybe it's 10. I don't think you're that old.
You're not that old, but 8 feels too young.
Okay, let me think about this. I saw a picture of me recently where I have like a birthday cake and I'm holding up the number 6. Like I turned 6 and that was at middle school. So that means kindergarten, you're like 5, 6. Or kindergarten, first grade, you're like 5, 6. And then you leave that school and then you go to second grade.
And we have a whole Google.
Maybe you're like 11.
That sounds about, I don't know. How old?
Because you were 12 when we graduated 6th grade. 6th grade, I was 12.
Okay, that makes sense. 4th grade is 9 to 10.
Okay.
That's what the Google says.
Yeah, so 9 or 10.
So we've known each other since we were 9 or 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So a long time to know folks, to be in each other's lives, to see each other, to experience each other, to know about each other.
Oh, Lord.
And our relationship has gone through, we haven't gone through anything big, I would say, but we've just gone through a lot of different seasons of what our relationship looks like. It has shifted and changed over the years, from being really close when we were young to not being as close, but still cool, to, only being people that we see every so often, to not talking, to talking, see each other on our birthdays and inviting each other out and whatever, and now being podcast hosts together. So I think we've had a lot of different renditions of what Katrina and Marlena looks like, but it is always cool to see how you continue to move about the world, how you continue to grow, how you have found your space in your healing journey, and how you have been working on yourself and working through some things and leveling up in all the ways that you do that. And I know that it has been challenging in a lot of moments, but I just want to acknowledge your hard work. I want to acknowledge you for the ways that you are doing that. And, it ain't always going to be perfect. It's probably never going to be perfect, but you're doing the damn thing. And that's what matters. So shout out to you. Giving you my rose today. Happy birthday. Turn up. Have a good time. Enjoy yourself. All the things that I know you will do because you are Marlena. And that is just how you are for your birthday. Y'all, this woman, I'm surprised. Maybe the pandemic has just calmed her down a little bit where she just ain't had the time. But the whole month of March, this woman would be like posting herself every day. Talking about her birthday every day. Got something planned every day. Like, she used to be wild.
I was wild.
But I support it because, hey, if ain't nobody else gonna celebrate you, it's gotta be you. You might as well.
That's true.
So, shout out to you. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Here's to another year of life and all the things that it may bring. Here's to growth and I don't know, whatever's next, because who knows what the hell's next.
Oh, Lord. I'll tell you what I want, but how much time do we have? How much time do you have? Oh, but yeah, it's lit. I am going to have a good time. I'm having a party. I did stop doing those things. I only did the birthday things up until my 20s. Then when I turned 30, I didn't do it anymore. That was like I think my 30th birthday was like the last countdown. And so I really haven't done any birthdays like that. And so this is the first one. And I was like, okay, it's been 5 years. Like, let's mark this. Let's mark this. Let's be around good people, and just dance it out and have a good time. So that's the plan. That is all I'm planning on doing.
And then you're going to disappear. We love it.
Yep. So thank you for that, though. I appreciate all your kind words. And we have had an interesting relationship. Mm-hmm. And it hasn't been bad.
It's not bad at all. Just shifts and changes.
Yeah.
Because we've never had a falling out. We've never had like any big fight or nothing. It just shifts and changes.
Anyway, I think we're too goofy to even like, well, at least me. I think like you were just like, shut up, Marlena. Like,
what are we talking about?
Right. What are we, girl, bye. Like I just don't, we don't.
It's just not us.
No.
It's just not us. Yeah.
But anyway, thank you. And for my birthday, you know what y'all could do? Tell a friend, tell a sister, tell a cousin, tell somebody about Excess Baggage and have them, subscribe and check us out.
Like, subscribe, follow us somewhere.
Yep.
Send it to your friends, to your enemies, to your frenemies.
I don't know about the frenemies.
Oh, the frenemies need to hear the good words too.
Okay, fine. The frenemies are welcome. You're welcome. But you know what? When we talking about you, you better listen.
Just know it's you we talking about.
Yeah, it's you. You will. Thank y'all for listening. Be sure to like, subscribe, review on the podcast app and Spotify. And remember to pack light and keep it tight.